Today we're taking this boring plastic engine cover and turning it into a one-of-a-kind carbon fiber piece. So that was the plan before it totally turned to crap and I had to scrap it.
So this cost me weeks of time and hundreds of dollars, all because I rushed it and because I slightly suck at carbon fiber. So I scrapped it all and we're gonna start over from scratch. Yay. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what went wrong and hopefully how to do it right. And in the end, I'm adding a very special touch, which I hope you guys are really going to enjoy. So stay tuned. All right, step one, we gotta clean this dirty engine cover, bad engine cover. And to do that, we're gonna use some isopropyl alcohol to rub this down, make sure we get rid of all the fingerprints, all the dirt, all the grease, to make sure we have no issues when creating the mold, and the mold surface will be perfect to create a beautiful carbon fiber part.
So now that we're all clean, I'm gonna start blocking all the holes with the fillet wax to make sure we get a smooth surface to mold off of, including where the emblem used to be. All right, next we want to cut this poster board to create flanges, roughly 6 inches away from the part. This gives us a nice clean edge and room for our vacuum infusion consumables later on in this video. And then you want to lock everything in with some hot glue. Now to finish her up, we're gonna fill in all these cracks with fillet wax. That way, when we go to spray our tooling gel, it can't sneak through and really create a problem with your part when you're trying to release it. Now it's time to ensure our part releases from the mold. So to do that, we're gonna add about 4 coats of this Partel paste wax, just apply it and wipe it off. And then 2 coats of PVA. You're gonna do 1 light tack coat and then 1 to 2 heavier coats.
All right, PVA is on, and this stuff is oddly satisfying to peel off when it's done. So even if you never make a carbon fiber part, just use PVA at some point in your life. It's like back in elementary school when you used to peel glue off your hands. It's just so fantastic. All right, it's tooling gel time. So that is the part of our mold that our carbon fiber sits on when we're making a part. So it needs to be beautifully glossy, beautifully smooth, really mirror finish. That way, as we take our carbon fiber parts out, they look great and there's not a lot of work you need to do to get it to perfection. So we're gonna put the part in my fancy spray booth. If it doesn't blow away with all this wind, then we're gonna spray it up.
So now it's time to pour our tooling coat, mix it up with the MEKP, get to our paint booth, and do it up. And if this goes wrong, we're screwed. Now it is time for fiberglass to make this mold very sturdy. And you want to make sure that that orange tooling coat is tacky, which means if you touch it, it leaves an imprint of your finger but doesn't transfer the orange stuff to your finger. And we're going to layer 2 layers at a time. Any more than that, the heat that builds up for that creates like alligating in the surface, which yes, it is a word. It gets too hot basically. Science, bro. It's what it is. And that is job done. It's the nerve-wracking part. Time to get the piece out of the mold to see if it turned out all right.
Boom! Please be pretty.
See, this is exactly what I was talking about, man. How satisfying is that? I told you, man, I am not crazy. That is so much fun. Like, I can do that all day and be very, very happy. All right, so here we are. The mold surface looks good. We waxed it, PVA'd it, and now I'm laying the sticky tape that our vacuum bag will sit on.
Start finally doing the fun stuff, which is laying carbon fiber. So I pre-cut a couple of pieces. The first one I'm going to be working on is this middle section. Instead of making it just all regular twill carbon fiber, I decided to do an inlay of forged carbon fiber. For right now, let's make some forged carbon.
That is job done. Time to get the rest of the carbon fiber on this piece. Now with the carbon fiber laid, it's time to do the rest of our vacuum infusion layers. This includes peel ply, then we have to do the infusion mesh, which allows the resin to soak through it.
All right, so next thing we got this mold all vacuumed up, we got the tube set up. Now we got to pull vacuum and see if it holds it. And then if we can get it to hold a vacuum, we can, in this bucket, put the resin. That resin should flow through here, create a beautiful part, and I will be very happy if it does so. Let's see if it holds vacuum. Not very successful in the past, so we'll see how today goes. Let's hook her up and watch the magic.
Two hours later.
So, some pretty sad news. The bag busted. This spiral tubing here busted straight through the bag and got sucked in there, popped, and a lot of resin went everywhere, and the bag would not hold shape anymore. So I don't think this turned out. So again, not a lot of experience is proving true. Let's pop it, see how it goes. So some really sucky news. You know, after we checked this out and it didn't work through the process, the mold for some reason is also busted. I've done a lot of different molds prior to this and never had the issue, but some of the resin that seeped underneath here is basically stuck on the mold. So now the mold is worthless too. So this means we got to start from square one, and I'm currently deciding whether I want to do that or not. And this is the time where we either just quit or we try to do it better. And I think I'm going to go with trying to do it better.
Here we are, back in round two to make another mold, lay some more carbon fiber, do resin infusion once again, and this time make a perfect piece. Fingers crossed.
Now this is what last time I think led to the failure. The bag was getting caught in these spiral grooves and it ended up popping. I think that's two reasons. One, because we didn't have a perfect seal and I went ahead and did it anyways, which was a major no-no. And two, I think the bag getting in here also caused some issues. So I'm gonna be putting some peel ply around this, as well as some of this breather cloth on the very ends where it kind of gets a little sharp. That way the bag will not have any chance to rip. So I have played with this part for at least 3 hours and I cannot find where it's leaking. It will not hold back. It slowly goes down after I turn the pump off. And it's driving me crazy. But since I can't find it and I still think we'll be able to get the resin through here, I just have to keep the pump on for a little bit longer, we're just gonna send it.
Now that we got good resin flow, it's time to crack this baby open and see what we got inside.
Moment of truth and anger. You know what, guys? I think we did it! Dude, I am so freaking psyched. Came out really well. And look at that forged carbon. Man, I am surprisingly happy, and it's worth the gouge in my forehead. Let's go!
We are in the home stretch right now. We got a trimmer, got a sander up, put some clear coat on, wet sand, buff it, and we got a finished part, ladies and gentlemen.
Now this part is done, one final special piece, the Blue Ice Project emblem. Japanese symbol for ice, and painted blue for blue ice. You got it. Yes, sir, we are done. So, we failed the first time, but that's why you persevere and you keep on going. And that's what this Blue Ice Project is all about. Lots of failures, but hopefully leads to some great successes. Now, if you like this build so far, like and subscribe, because we are about to slam this hard. Let's get it. 2 fingers in the air, spread apart. Peace. See you guys next time.